Oh yeah, there you go. Always be
Ate myself this morning. But I was able to resolve the one issue.
Everybody try home so
Getting
cooking.
into
That's high.
two issues.
It was command and code.
Cotton command.
Okay.
Tried to figure out this.
A little bit here and there. They're all mad about Ray.
Picking myself up. I saw we had two classes. And I wrote it down. But
You need it. Okay, so the one with 12 is still good.
well,
Great.
there's one on the 12th, you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
That Thomas and Morales is doing the 12. Yeah.
Okay.
So we good.
Okay. What can I read? Do I need to register?
I sent the flyer. I think there may
sent it to me?
be a
Okay.
QR code. Let me check and see it.
Well, people are mad at me. Like, wait, you got a team leader here, but I know we had some equity stake.
Yeah, I was looking at the calendar. I didn't see it on the calendar.
I thought it was Atlanta West. That's what motivation says. Then I noticed Atlanta West considers, we're doing AOC. Like, that's all your owners. Your AOC.
So she's doing one at the same time? She's doing forms and coding?
I think they're no, they're two
I
separate.
never met her.
But it's just, you know, I have one house.
Let me pull it up.
I don't understand why it's
See,
not
forms
selling.
on the
It's
12th,
a great
more
option,
than
I.
Yeah, so no, yeah, that's just so so actually
In Smyrna?
She's tapped into everybody else's things, but she,
Practically new. Yeah.
so actually that may not be a
The last thing I did was said, okay.
so yeah, let me verify
And
that
reduce the
then.
price again,
Yeah, because I
$15,000.
was like, we had two classes in November. I had written them down too. And just
It's a great price, really. The last house that was sold there was $575. So look at the price we are now.
What y'all do on this?
basketball season's going, so I'd be so wrapped up with trying to get these girls together at the high school.
How's that going so far?
Yes, Alice.
We have an overlapping season with flag football. So it just ended
And I send them
last
call them, telling them.
Friday.
Okay.
So now we got all the girls practicing before then, you know, they come to practice one day and not the other. But we've already played.
75.
We played, like we played in tournament this week. We had a game this morning.
I mean, it's not.
Where are the kitties?
Out at Park.
They're at camp.
They're what?
So it's a game this week.
Only one owner, and the owner was.
So they do karate, like after school karate.
That's different now having flag football.
I travel a lot.
That's something.
Yeah, I mean, they don't do karate.
Like I
You
graduated
went to the
high school in 2012, but it was like that wasn't a thing.
Yes, yes.
Now these girls, it's a real thing.
Kimberly's daughter is like Tom Brady on her.
Your daughter plays flag football?
Her daughter.
Really?
Hi, daughter.
Don't take It overlaps with basketball, and I can't get on my.
And they.
5 of my girls play football, yeah.
For
So.
3 days a week. And they go there.
Is it really? I've never been to a game.
And then where do you go?
I just,
But they also can go to karate.
We just had the powder puff down when I was in high school. Like there's powder
When I say no, he's.
Right.
Yeah,
They serious about that flag. I mean, I got a girl, I got a girl, she was quarterback here in St. Susan.
Oh wow.
MCL and
My high school also always put a girl for soccer team.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I was in middle school during the time, but the girl that was the varsity kicker, she was really good at soccer, but she was also our football kicker.
I don't know, that's.
From ESPN. No, I went to school in Michigan. Yeah, no, our school was large. Like during that time, I would say like classes. No, Flint Central. I lived like my family home. Flint Central.
Did it really?
Yeah. That's the house that like my house, my like family home is closer to. But I went to Michigan. But yeah, she was a kicker. It was a kick return. Guy was running back the kick return.
She tackled?
Yeah, she ended up making an open field tackle, and it was a good tackle too. And I'll always remember they killed it on ESPN. Yeah.
Sound like somebody remember.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Anybody here for the very first time? Who's out here for the last time?
Okay, what was
Are you here for the first time?
Yes.
No, of
course not.
I love
Exactly
that.
right. So tell me what you're doing for Thanksgiving. It may be, I want to stay home in my house, and be quiet, and have a limousine. So what are you doing for Thanksgiving? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to Tennessee tomorrow.
Where?
Clarksville.
Is that outside of Nashville?
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Like an
beautiful.
hour
Okay.
outside
Family there?
Yep.
Cool, great, great, great. Who else? What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing.
I am going to be cooking the whole 9 yards because my 2 sons came home
Oh,
to
fun.
visit, so yeah, I'm super excited to have my house full of people. I don't want quiet, I want noise.
I get that. I love that.
Yeah.
What else? What are you doing for Thanksgiving? D'Angelo.
I'll be going to North Carolina to be with family.
And where in North Carolina?
Garner, which is like right outside of Raleigh.
I know where that is. Cool. Is that cool? Okay. Well, all right, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to East Cobb to a cousin's house. Yes,
You going where?
East Cobb, right here.
Yeah,
Right.
cool.
That's good.
I'll tell you guys, I got several friends that go, Jim, my grandkids are in wherever their parents, and all we want to do is just be quiet. That's all we just want quiet during Thanksgiving. And one of my best friends, she and her boyfriend are gonna cook something together on Thursday. And when your grandkids, and they just want to be by themselves, I said, God bless you.
Yeah.
I love watching the Macy's Day Parade in the morning while I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Who's gonna watch the Macy's parade?
I love it.
All right.
I bring on that
Parade.
Snoopy balloon, man.
I love it, exactly right, yeah, all right.
We already had 20 people over on Saturday for early Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So,
Very thankful.
we are also going to Nashville, actually.
Y'all got the carpool.
See, like the hockey game, the Predators or whatever, Tampa Bay's playing them.
Oh, fun.
So it'll be my first professional hockey game.
Cool.
That's fun.
That'll be fun. What are you doing, huh?
I'm going back to Birmingham.
Back to Birmingham. And so you gotten into whose turn it is, husband or wife?
Well, I made the mistake of assuming it was my turn.
Oh, your
So-
first lesson. How long you been married?
Like a month and a half.
Well, hey guys, what can we
She'll
tell
let
you?
you know.
I see nothing, right?
She let me know.
Okay, I see nothing.
So it's not a mistake, it's love.
Yeah, well,
It's
we're
love.
doing Christmas with her family, so that was quickly staying thereafter.
Yeah, when we first got married, we lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and both parents are 12 hours away. We made the mistake of trying to go for Thanksgiving, Christmas, both, and see both families. At first I said, no more.
No more.
No more, no more. So we had one Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. The first time I did that, and I didn't go home for Christmas, my mother was really bad at me. We'll talk about you, what you doing for Thanksgiving?
Just hanging around. My parents got into town last night, and so they'll be in town through Saturday, and just hanging out and visiting.
Cool.
Good time.
I've gone the opposite direction. I'm very thankful to not have anybody in my house. I've had almost a month of a lot of people. I was just telling them earlier, it's just because my last name is Patel does not mean that I have a motel. And that's what it feels like. For like a week I had like 15 people. It was, my father-in-law had surgery, so he's with us. Everybody wants to come visit. I'm like, absolutely not.
Oh, good for you.
I'm
I
done.
like it.
Like I'm done cooking,
I
cleaning,
think you're right.
caretaking, like not of him, but just grown-ass adults.
I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
We are staying at home, and all the kids will be there, and
Yay.
daughter-in-law and baby, and, well, baby in the works, let's put it that way. So,
Oh,
she's due in February, so.
that's exciting.
great news, that's fabulous. So it's gonna be a fun Thanksgiving, okay? Jalen, what are you gonna do?
I'll be here. I'm thankful I have a cousin that was in the hospital for an extended amount of time where she made it out about a month and a half ago. And it was something that really stemmed almost from last November. So I'm gonna go over and spend Thanksgiving with her and spend some time with my dog, get my dog some Thanksgiving treats and watch the Lions beat the Bears and
Let's go.
There you go.
it'll be another day.
There you go.
Cool. And some people are very happy doing that. Sir,
Well, we drew a short straw, so we're having Thanksgiving at my house.
are you cooking?
No, my wife is cooking. So, but actually, we do it like a potluck. It's kind of non-traditional, so everybody brings something. So I
I
got
like that.
my daughters are here, my grandkids, my first cousin, my sister. So it'll about 15, 16 people.
That'll be fun. Kim, you're in Mississippi tomorrow, right? So you'll be in Mississippi, which is the cool thing. So I got some.
Detroit.
Let's see, I've got, today I'm gonna go up and spend with my brother in my hometown, Marion, and we're gonna just hang out together tonight. And then when I get up, I go up to Rome, which is an hour and a half away, and I get to have my grandsons all day long because their mother wants them out of the house so she can cook.
Oh.
So I get to hang out with them tomorrow, and then we have about 30 coming to Thanksgiving dinner.
That's exciting. That's
Well, but that's because April has a lot of friends, their mom, and she wants the people not to be by themselves, so I guess, but April, they may want to be out by themselves.
even better, even
And she
better.
said, that's not possible. I said, yes. And so, anyway, someone asked me what I was cooking, and I said, honey baked ham. It was half of a ham, big one. It was $120.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a wow, I agree. It's like, wow. It's like you're on your back. Anyway, so it will be fun, and then, and I'll come back here on Saturday, Sunday 1, which will be absolutely great. So that's fun, okay? All right, let us move on. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Victoria told me something good. Let's move on to our partners. Who's up? Good morning.
Well, I guess I am.
That's you,
Yes.
Reed.
Boy, what a crowd today, what a crowd.
Do your turkey impression.
Gobble,
Gobble, gobble.
gobble.
Yeah.
So guys, y'all know me, I know you, here we are together. So I wanna show y'all something, a tool that really these numbers were surprising. Some of you may have seen it, I put this on, Instagram, Facebook, and also I blasted out an email to you guys. This is something, I know that one of the last things y'all wanna do is try to convince an unconvinced client that they should buy a house. But there may be a time when you get that client who really wants to know, should I buy a house? Does it make sense for me to buy a house? I heard interest rates are way too high. I heard the price on houses is way too high. Well, Pinky, what do you say if they say to you, I heard the prices of houses are way too high?
Well, come springtime, there's a bidding war, and what you thought you were gonna save later, you're gonna pay more for.
That's pretty simple.
And I said that.
Probably pretty
This past
doggone
weekend.
accurate. Yep.
Yeah.
What about interest rates? Christy, what would you say? If somebody said, I heard interest rates are way too high.
You can always refinance and they come down, we're expecting another quarter this month, another quarter each quarter next year.
Okay, so rates are intended to come down. Let me show you what, if you don't mind, I want to show you guys what these numbers look like, even with interest rates and house prices where they are. So what I took was there it is. So I took a $600,000 house right here, purchase price in East Cobb. And what I used was a 30-year fixed rate loan at 6.875%. And I did two different rates of appreciation. This is the forecasted rate of appreciation, 3.56%. Do y'all know what the historical appreciation has been like forever? Jim, what did we tell people that?
About 4%.
Right, so this is even a little lower than that. And then I also used a more pessimistic appreciation rate of 2%. And I want you to look, after 10 years, this is the amount of equity. Oh, the loan, I did a $600,000 purchase with 10% down. How much is that? $60,000. And to make sure y'all are listening, Kyle missed it. He said he gave me the wrong answer. No, I'm
I was
kidding.
shaking.
And on a 30-year fixed rate loan. So at the end of 10 years, if the appreciation rate is 3.56%, that is the amount of equity that client is gonna have after 10 years.
Wow.
Guys, that's serious money. That ain't chump change. And we're talking about, here's where it is, the $60,000 down payment, right?
Right.
Appreciation gain, that's the value of the house going up, $250,000. And this is the amortization on the loan, almost $78,000. That's the pay down on the loan. So we're talking about $328,000 on that side, plus the $60,000 that they put in initially, $388,000 of equity. And even if the appreciation is only 2%, it's $269,000. I mean, this is real. And take a look, you can do this, we can even go back to say 5 years. $225,000 or $154,000. So this person right here in this scenario with 2% appreciation has gained somewhere in the neighborhood of $90,000 in appreciation and pay down on their loan, because we're also taking into account the $60,000 down payment, right? I mean, these are the kind of things that if you have an analytical person, those numbers may be something that helps move the needle for them. And that's at today's prices and today's interest rates. So does it, I mean, the question is, when they ask, does it make sense to buy a house now? You can say, well, the numbers certainly indicate that it does. Now, if you're only going to be there 2 years, maybe not. Actually, let's take a look. What would 2 years look like? Problem with 2 years is you get into the, issue of, so you'd have what, $35,000 gained in that case. So you, I mean, when you get into, real estate commissions and things like that, then maybe not, if you're only gonna be in that. But you would normally tell a client, if they're only gonna be there 2 years, it might not be the best thing to buy, right? So anyway, I just wanted to show these numbers to you for two reasons. First of all, to give you a tool to give to your clients, but also to bolster your confidence in what you do for a living. This is for real. This is the thing that can change the trajectory of a family. So if you guys want something like this, I can send it to you. You can use it as a tool if you want me to send it to a client, anything that I can do to help. But I mean, this was kind of an eye-opener for me. I mean, I knew it was a big deal, but when you actually see the calculations, it is significant. So, any questions?
So,
Yes, sir.
Well, I think
Yes,
that-
ma'am.
You
no,
first.
I was saying because, one of my clients was saying, I'm waiting until December because, they are going to reduce the interest rates again. So what are your thoughts about it?
I would tell them there is no guarantee that's gonna happen. As a matter of fact, if I had to bet, I would bet that it might not happen.
Yeah.
There's too much stuff going on right now. I mean, when President Trump was elected and he talks a lot about tariffs, in one sense, maybe tariffs might have a good benefit. Maybe we could debate that. We can debate that. But tariffs typically tend to be inflationary. Inflation is the arch enemy of bonds, and bonds are what determine, long-term bonds, that's what determines mortgage rates. The government does not set mortgage rates. And I think we have to keep telling people that. The broader economic markets is what dictates interest rates. And as long as there's fear of inflation, interest rates are not gonna go very far. Kyle, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Just don't, mainly don't get too excited about the Fed doing anything. Past 2 years has been pretty cyclically, disappointing, I guess, in that sense of getting excited and getting back on. So just be prepared with this type of stuff. This is the illustration that we wanna be telling our clients.
So we stay politically correct. How much do you think the current president had to do with where interest rates are right now? And how much do you think the new president could have to do with interest rates? Are very little?
Not a lot, except
That's what I
for,
thought too, yeah.
and I don't even know that the president has really control of this. It's, guys, we created money during COVID. $2 to $4 trillion. We increased the money supply. So think about what that does. If there's, let's say that M1, who took economics in college? M1 is the amount of money in circulation. There's like M1, M2, M3.
Econ with Reed.
Yeah, I mean, let's say that M1 is the total amount of dollars that are in circulation, and that is $10 trillion. I don't know what that number, that's more than that, probably. Yeah, it has to be, because we owe 36 trillion, right? But anyway, and then the government goes and spends more, and they borrow to do it, so they've created 12 trillion, 14 trillion. Well, the value of each one of those dollars goes down. So it takes more of your dollars to buy the gallon of milk, the car, the whatever else it is. That's inflation.
Yeah.
And so interest rates have to stay high in that scenario. They can't go down because there's more dollars chasing fewer products. So, I mean, it's one of the biggest issue, I think, besides, big moral issues and wars and all those sorts of things, is, I think it's our national debt. And and that's related directly to government spending. So it's really gonna be intriguing to see if the two gurus that are supposed to start dealing with, government waste are able to do anything. Because if anybody doesn't believe that the government is wasting money, like they showed 400 and something billion last year that the Department of Defense couldn't account for. I mean, in this 400 billion? So anything that we can do to rein in government spending and waste, I think would be a mighty good thing. And that was politically correct, right, Jim?
That's like Chuck's, which I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give Rita a hand. Y4C2Ts. I love Y4C2Ts. And let's ask Lisa, what's your favorite one this morning?
For me personally,
Morning. Well, it used to be ideas before results, because since I'm still new, I'm coming up with, ways to try to be successful. Lately, I think it's sometimes customers, they always come first. Some of the deals that I've had, just really gotta put them first and get it across the finish line. And commitment in all things really goes in that too.
Putting them first is what will allow you to have repeat business when you put their needs first, which means sometimes walking away from a deal, which I get, so I love that one. I love that one. All right, share the love. And guys, please remember, this lady was magnificent last week. Just remember that we're gonna help her bless some families. And it's on the website, on the email that you sent out, right, Kimberly? And so, God, please go on. If no more than donate $5, so they can get something for Christmas. Please do that, God. Please go on there and just do that. This is what we're supporting for this holiday season. So please do it, and they need to be in by December 1st. We probably need to reach out to her to see if there's any latitude on that. So, because December 1st is coming, I said, okay, career night, Jalen.
Yes, tonight, 5 p.m. If you know anyone that's looking to get their real estate license, I do understand that people are traveling, as we see. Got a light room in here, but if there is any referrals that you have, more than happy to be connected with them.
Cool. Well, thank you for holding tonight. No, there's not a lot going on right now. I appreciate it, Jalen. Anyway, it's our holiday party, guys. Now, if you didn't come last year, it was the best party we've done in many years, so we decided to repeat it. It's at the Battery. There's lots of parking there, and it's on Friday, December 6th, which is actually next Friday. Not Friday, but the following. So, guys, please put it on your calendar. And do they need to register, Kimberly?
Yeah.
Good. First, we know who's coming, guys. We're going okay. All right. And then I don't know about this. Let's see. This is 300 open houses in 300 days. Monday, December 2nd, from 11 to 12. Zoom only. And it's Russ Lane Roberts. I'm sure there's somebody that Martha Reen knows. And so, guys, please do this, guys. If you did 300 open houses in 300 days, guys, you would have a bunch of business because you'll be consistent and doing that many. So come hear how he does this and did it, I'm sure, exceptionally well. All right, guys, if you've not done this before, this is one of my favorite things we do. It's the White Elephant Exchange. I love to see what people bring to this because I typically bring something that someone gave me. I thought, I'll never use that. So I'll bring it here, guys. So please come, bring a wrap package. It can be anything that you want, and then you get to pick something. And it's a really fun thing. That's happening on December 17th at 11 a.m. following the team meeting in December. 225 forms and contracts. We love this lady. She is amazing. Cheryl is very bright, and she makes learning this very fun. And that is the contract forms and contract changes. It's coming up when? When is I can't see it.
On the 12th?
12th. On the 12th. So guys, please put that on the calendar because I want y'all to know what's going on. And she makes the class very fun. And what's that? All right, now guys, somebody tell me what this guy is right here.
It's a penguin.
It's a penguin, and why do we give these away? I did not start this. Arthur did actually. Why do we give these away?
You have your first transaction.
Because you're breaking the
listing,
ice.
because you broke the ice and getting listed, guys. So this is this person's first listing. Listings will set you free. Jasmine Reynolds. Jasmine. Janelle Campbell, way to go. Let's give my hand. And Pinky. Come on, Pinky.
Yay! Congratulations!
You made the Falcons, won't we? Not kidding. They have a great thing. Okay, guys, also, this is when you get a payday. I love it. And so their first closing is Terry Hollingsworth. Let's give Terry a hand. Way to go, Terry. First closing. October, 2 bars. I don't have 2 of them. You confused me. Oh, one for me and one for them. Okay. All right, guys. This is my favorite thing to do, and that's when you give up these hats. And these people that capped in October, which means they get 100% for a while, which I love. The first one is Adriana. Let's give Adriana a hand. Adriana. Amaya Fisher. Let's give Amaya a hand. Way to go, Amaya. And last but is that it?
Jim.
Oh, Travis. Let's give Travis. He's capped several times. Let's give my hand. Way to go, Travis. They're all and Christopher Worth. Now Christopher Worth, well, hold on, he gets an extra clap here because he caps here and in Florida both. So he caps both places. He's in 2 different markets and he caps both places. He's really good talent. Let's give Christopher a hand. Let's give Christopher.
Get your hat.
back, come on. Somebody take a picture of me and Mike. You got it, come get one. That's a big congratulations, come on, somebody take a picture. Oh, yeah, put it on. I have a big head and it looks I have a big too, so it fits me.
Nice, there you go.
Let's give her a hand, guys. That's absolutely great, which is cool. Okay, all right, lessons learned, Jalen.
Alrighty. How are you all doing? Can you hit light jump? Can you go to the email? So, who saw the email that Sherry sent last Friday about the condo exhibits? Alright, so I'm just gonna do a quick refresher on that. This is the F204 form right here, but I'm gonna pull up the email that Sherry sent, just so we can be able to have proper context. So, several years ago, there was a separate purchase and sale for resale condos. The GAR Forms Committee felt it was a bit cumbersome and decided to eliminate the separate purchase and sale for condos and created the condo resale purchase and sale exhibit, which is the F204. It is the intention of the Forms Committee to use the condo exhibit as the legal description by checking that box on page 1 of the purchase and sale agreement. In section 2 on page 1 of the purchase and sale agreement, if you are if it is a condo that you are that the contract is for the buyer, you will check section 2 where it says condominium and you will attach the F204 form. There is a fill in the blank on this form because attaching a legal is problematic. It wouldn't be an exhibit to an exhibit. In situations where you have a separate legal description that is being attached as an exhibit, state that in section 1 of the condo exhibit F204. That being said, F204 contains other important information that applies to condos, so do not omit this exhibit when you are buying or selling a condo. Anybody that can see it, someone up close, somebody read the bottom line right there. Okay, somebody who can see it, read the bottom line.
Please keep in mind, if you do not have a legal description, you do not have a contract, you have a suggestion.
So, the legal description is always necessary. If you do not have a legal description, you do not have a contract, you have a suggestion. So now, can you go to the contract? So this is the F204 form. So you'll label the exhibit at the top, you'll put in the offer date and the property known as. This is where you will fill in the legal description, or if you are attaching a separate legal description, say this is exhibit B right there, and you're attaching an exhibit where it may be exhibit A. In this portion on this line right here, you would write see exhibit A, because once again, you can't attach an exhibit to an exhibit, so you would need to refer them to exhibit A. Does that make sense? What would be the question if not?
So if you've done sales of condos in the past year, and if we haven't used it, how does that work?
So you've closed on some condos, what did you use as a legal exhibit?
We attached it.
You attached it?
Yeah.
And so you checked the first box on page 1?
Page 1.
But you never used the F204?
No.
Then that is something it did close, and so that is something that I would go back to Sherry just to ensure that there's nothing.
I don't mind answering that question, Shelley.
All right.
Did it close?
Did it close, yeah?
Sherry's gonna hate this, and she'll be mad at me for a long time for this, guys. But guys, I can give you a sheet of paper right now and say, I will buy your house for $1 million. You're gonna go, when can you close? And we can close that on a napkin, if there's no lender. Now, lender may want a little more legal description, guys, but if you closed on it and the parties agreed, that's what matters. Now, what happens, and what Jalen's saying is that, but if you don't attach this, and there's no legal description attached, is it an enforceable contract?
No.
Is it?
Yes.
It may not be, who knows, but you who decides that? Court of law. So guys, this just helps you make
Moving
it,
forward.
to where it's a more solid contract. This is what Sherry likes, and she likes to check off, but, as long as it closed, the closing attorney, was there a loan involved?
No.
So the closing attorney didn't really care, so it's good, guys, but as long as it closes, everybody agrees that, either one of you all disagree with me on that, Marie?
What, that we're gonna want more than a napkin?
If I bring you a napkin, and I wanna buy this house, will you still loan me some money?
Might need a little more than napkin, but we definitely have seen some, handmade contracts. And it's okay, I mean, it's okay, I mean, as long as we're gonna make sure that the terms of the contract are met.
But as Jalen and Sherry both said, that this keeps you out of real estate prison. Because the more, is more information better than the less information? 100%, so that was well stated. Any other questions from Jalen?
If no other questions, by a show of hands, who plans on coming to the Christmas party next week? It is going to be an amazing time, and I'm actually going to be the DJ. This QR code right here, I don't really plan on taking too many requests at the party, but if you scan this QR code, you can be able to make some song requests. And so if you just scan that, it'll lead you to a Google form, it'll add some song requests, and I'd love to play it for you.
I think you need some elf ears and a.
I was coming in a full Santa suit.
Well,
no, just kidding. But we shall see. But if you do have any song requests, feel free to scan this QR code because that's the benefit of showing up to the team
You have
meeting.
opened up the table.
There we go. No problem. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. If you're traveling, hope you have safe travels.
Thank you, Jalen.
Jalen, thank you. Good information. Guys, so about a month ago, I got the email that said, Jim, are you aware that agents have got to register if they have a business by the end of the year? And I said, what do you mean? They have to register. I was not aware of that, so the more I looked into it, I found out that there was something that had been passed to where the Treasury wants to know who has a small business. And they have that because I understand there are a lot of small businesses that are laundering money through the small businesses. Your timing is perfect. We're getting ready to start this. So Ruben, are you there?
I'm here.
Good. Can you train him up? All right, Ruben, listen, good to see you again, buddy. How are things in your world?
Oh, things are going great.
Great. Now, you guys need to know this guy. He does a lot of agents and works with their P&L statements. You're a tax attorney. Am I correct? Is that right, Ruben?
That is correct.
All right, so Ruben, tell about what you do in your business.
Well, so our business helps real estate agents understand their business financials. You know, it probably doesn't sound totally unfamiliar to hear. We like to say we're an education company that happens to do tax and bookkeeping. And that's really what, that's our goal. Our goal is to take the minutia of tax and bookkeeping off real estate agents' plates, primarily S Corp or agents set up as an S Corp, and really allow them to focus on running their business. But today, we're actually not talking about any of that. Today, actually, Jim, honestly, you answered most of this beneficial ownership information rule in your little summary there. But that's what I'm here to discuss real quick today. And it should literally only take about under 5 minutes.
Okay, good. Good. We like that.
Yeah. So again, exactly, jumping right in, exactly as you alluded to, Jim, this is a Congress passed the Corporate Transparency Act. And really what they're after here is they don't want money launderers and drug traffickers to be able to hide behind a corporate veil and not allow the government to know who they're dealing with. So they came up with this beneficial ownership information rule, which is a requirement for most LLCs and S Corps. There are exceptions. Being a real estate agent is not one of the exceptions. So it does apply to all real estate agents who are set up as a separate entity. And really all that's going on is the government wants to know who owns this company. That's it. So by and large in real estate, if it's a single member LLC, this is really crystal clear. So by and large for most agents, there's not even a question of ownership. And I think by and large, we're going to leave any questions of whether you have to file or not we're going to put those aside and essentially say, if you're a real estate agent running your business through a separate entity, you need to file a report. So all that said, this is a really straightforward process. It only has to happen once ever, unless you change the ownership of your business. And what you need to do is essentially log on to the government site. You'd have to create an account, but then you're going to tell them what the LLC, what information you're reporting, or on what entity. And you have to do this for every LLC or S Corp that you own. But really, it's just entering the name and address of yourself and the entity. And the one sort of kicker that makes it a little more difficult than just doing it is you have to upload a copy of your driver's license or a passport. They want something to directly tie what you're saying to a visual representation so that they can have trust that this report is accurate. So really, that's it. You know, it's going to take about 10 minutes for anybody that hasn't done it. You want to log on. Here, I have the site pulled up so I can give you the exact address. It's BOIEFiling.FINCEN.gov.
Would you repeat that one more time, Ruben?
Sure. BOI, so beneficial ownership information. So BOI e-filing.FINCEN, FINCEN.gov. And again, this is just the government's financial crimes enforcement network, and it's where this information is going to be reported. But this information, for anybody that has concerns, you know, most of this information, because most realtors are the sort of sole owners of their entity. So when they created that entity, a lot of that information is probably already public on the Secretary of State's website. This information for this specific report is actually going to be hidden. It's not going to be public information. It's really only eligible to government entities that have a reason for needing to know. So it's not something that you're putting this information out for the general public. As I said, that's probably already out there. It is separate, and it's really do it once and be done with it. You know, I highly recommend everybody do it this afternoon or this morning if you haven't done it already, because once you do it, you're done. It doesn't cost anything. It just takes a little bit of your time.
All right, so Ruben, I thought I understood it that even if you're not an LLC, you're just a single agent and you don't have an LLC set up or an S Corp, whatever, do I still have to do it as a single agent?
You don't. Because again, as a single agent, Jim, in that scenario, there's no question about your identity. Okay. You're filing a tax return that says, my Schedule C business, Ruben Mann, realtor, and there's just no question about that. If the government wants to know who it is, they know who it is. So this is really for these entities that are totally distinct legally from any of the individual owners, and wanting to know who actually owns those entities. So if you don't have a separate entity, an LLC or a corporation, then you don't have anything to report on.
That sounds great. And remind us, if I am LLC, what happens when January 1 comes and I have not reported it?
Well, so there's potential, you know, the fines are set at $500 a day and indexed to inflation.
Wow.
But yeah, so I think it says it's up to 591 right now. But, you know, that's for willful ignorance. So if you are saying, I'm not going to do it, you know, I shouldn't have to, you know, I don't think that law is actually constitutional. That's when they're really going to nail you, you know. So if somebody just totally forgot, you're probably not going to get into trouble. But it's one of those things that you can guarantee you don't get in trouble if you do it before January 1st. After that, again, it's not a gotcha, you know, law. They're really not. It's not trying to be punitive. It's just trying to give the government enough information to not allow bad actors to use the system against itself.
And I understand that you will file it for them for, did I hear $35?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing that because again, a lot of it's a prioritization issue, but it's one, and again, we will help people with that stuff or at least walk them through. But I do want to, big exclamation point, everybody that is listening to this can do it themselves without any problem. It really is not too challenging. You might have to read the instructions a few times, but I promise everyone can do it. But if you feel totally stuck, we can help. But it's one of those things of it needs to be worthwhile, right? It's one. So if you're hiring somebody else to do it, you better be putting the time you're not spending doing it to good work.
I like that. All right, guys, any other questions? Anybody? Yes, ma'am, William.
Does it matter when LLC was open, 2024 or 2004?
No. So if it was opened, if it is open right now, it needs to be filed by January 1. I guess there's a little asterisk. I think you have, I want to say 90 days for a new entity. So conceivably an entity created in the last month or two would have a little bit more time. But by and large, you just want to treat January 1 as your deadline. And like I said, from a what's holding you back from being able to do this, it's like having a copy of your driver's license. That's about it. The rest is really just logging on and spending the time.
Other questions? All right, Ruben, so 30 seconds, tell them what you do for agents and how they can contact you.
Sure. Well, you can reach us at our phone number, 404-537-3000. And really, we try to be an information resource for agents. And what we do is a monthly service that sort of handles everything S-Corp related. So once the tax reasons say you should be an S-Corp, you're undertaking a certain amount of obligations. And we're just sort of there to help agents with all those obligations so that they can spend their time on high priority tasks like understanding a P&L and really dialing in your P&L and understanding why do you spend the money you spend and why do you spend the time you spend on the things you spend it on. And if you can answer those two questions, you will be so dialed in financially and making the most profit you possibly can because you'll be so clear with why you're spending the money you spend and spending the time you do. So anyhow, super long-winded way of saying, that's what we try to help agents, see for themselves so that they can ultimately put their time and money to its best use.
And you know the MREA model pretty well, don't you?
Oh, I consider myself the foremost expert, to be quite honest, Jim. I think I could go toe to toe with anybody because the reality is, I've lived with the MREA model for 15 years. So, I know its flaws. I know where it hasn't kept up with the current times. But the reality is it's an apples to apples starting point for everybody. And to be able to have partners, peers, whomever that you can chat with about what they're doing and really have those conversations be meaningful. You can look at your numbers and see where there's difference in their actions versus your actions and what you're seeing in the numbers, that it makes it so valuable. So I do recommend everybody use the MREA. And if you have questions about how you sort of tweak it to allow it to have that apples to apples comparison, but tell the story of your business personally, we're happy to have those conversations.
Are you all, any other questions?
Ruben, do you offer payroll services?
So yes, but is the answer. Payroll, here's the one, here's my, this is going to be, again, I'm long-winded. Wages, right? So payroll in the context of an S-Corp, you're doing just because you have to. You're really just taking owner profit and apportioning them. Wages, when you've hired somebody, you have very clear expectations for this chunk of money and what it's going to do. And the reality is, unlike something like online lead gen that you can spend money and draw a direct line to the revenue coming back to you, with an employee, it's a little more, it's not as clear, right? Because they're doing actions that generate. So sometimes you can draw those lines. So anyhow, because it's unclear of sort of the ROI, return on investment that you're getting from an employee, I am a huge believer that agents should be using their gut to say, hey, I'm about to pay my buyer's agent, my admin, my transaction coordinator, whoever it is, this much money. Does this feel good to me? Does this feel like a good use of my money? So using sort of your gut and intuition to help gauge what is the ROI on this thing that kind of has an abstract return. So all that said, because I think it's important for agents to be in the payroll process, we don't like set up wages like so and Jimmy Joe worked 80 hours this week, these last 2 weeks or something like that. What we do is set up agents with their payroll account. We show them how to automate it if they want to automate it. We show them how to enter the information themselves if that's what they're going to do. And it can take literally less than 2 minutes to run all of your payroll, but it keeps the agents in the process. And I personally think that's hugely important. So that's my super duper long-winded way of saying, yes, payroll's included, but it's a little bit different than maybe you're thinking.
That's your question?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else? He's been around for a while, guys. I like him a lot. He knows his stuff, and so if you don't have anybody helping you out with that, he is the man. Give me your number one more time, Ruben, please.
All right, Ruben Mann, Tax In-House. There's people in the office you can chat to if you wanna learn more. They'll give you a more honest assessment than I would, because mine's going to be all puffery, because we are the best, and I say that because I truly believe it. But I think we are the premier MREA bookkeeper out there. But that's my word, and I would say you don't have to take my word for it. There's a lot of people you can get in touch with that could share their own opinion.
Now, Ruben, if you can make Dennis O'Reilly happy, you can make anybody happy. I love Dennis.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. He's got a very sunny outlook on life, Jim.
I know him better than you do, then, Ruben. You guys can give my hand. Great information. Yay!
All right, thank you. Have a great one.
So, tell me what you learned from him that you have to do to file this. Number one, who in here thinks they have to file it? Okay, how many people have already filed it? All right, Chris, you start with you. How simple was it?
It wasn't bad. I mean, you just had to kind of read through everything and definitely.
Read. You know what RDR means?
Uh-huh.
What does it mean?
We're going to ignore that. So just go and picture your driver's license and have that handy in your email so you can upload the picture, because you're going to verify who you are, and then you'll upload again if you're the beneficiary. If you have somebody else that's your beneficiary of your LLC, just make sure you have their driver's license handy. But I just made it super easy and made myself both, and walked my dad through it in South Carolina. So if you know anybody in other states, they've got to do it too. It's not just a Georgia thing. But do it. Don't risk the fines. But yeah, it probably took 10 minutes.
Good. All right. Any questions about that? That sound easy to you all? Yes, ma'am.
It's a great way to touch your database as well.
Oh yeah, you said that yesterday. Tell me why you said. Why would you touch your database with this?
Because you don't know who has a small business, and they are not aware of. They may not be aware of this filing, and so to at least give them the heads up so that they won't get penalized, you'll be a hero.
Cool. Have you started touching your database yet?
I sure
All right, guys. Guys, we're gonna stop now. And Kimberly, what are the plans for the luncheon?
If you brought a dish, just take it in there. Side dishes on the table. There's a desk to the right for desserts, and then drinks are in the kitchen.
So I'll just chill out now for a few minutes and.
Food's like there. What time is it
We're not eating
now?
now,
11, right?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
I'm gonna get an answer for you.